Friday night. The Dixon line security, Ryan, your guys took the win here over Eddie Valentine and Stefan, MOB, and Mark Mest versus Rob Noxious. This was the first time I have ever seen a man light his hand on fire and punch another man in a wrestling ring, which was a quick disqualification for Mark Mest, and us being the first-time ring attendants watching the referee try and stamp out the fire on the canvas. We looked at each other. What did we do?
Yeah, we didn't have a bottle of water.
Didn't have a bottle of water. Didn't have a fire extinguisher. Luckily, it quickly went away. It was just, I think it was like brake fluid or something that they had sprayed on Mark Mest's hand. But for a brief moment there, I was very concerned.
Sure, yeah.
It was unfortunate that Dixon line wasted their whole bottle of water on Ryan's face, because, I mean, that could have easily put that flame out.
Well, no, Matt. Nothing to add to that. You're right, Matt.
Two singles matches from Friday night that took the card, to another level too for me, on top of the Patrick Clark match. But Clutch Adams, who is a former Monster Factory heavyweight champion, took on the product David Starr. We actually didn't know David Starr was going to be there. I think he was a late addition to the Friday card.
I knew.
You knew?
He tweeted it out.
I'm sorry. I
did notice the tweet earlier in the day that
I was very busy at work on Friday.
On Friday. Yes, that would have been Friday's show.
Yeah. I think you get off at the middle of the afternoon. You go in much earlier than I do.
Yep.
So I didn't know he was there. As I get there backstage, it's like, oh, he's here. Very cool. And spectacular match. I mean, David Starr is and I had no mystery when we had him on. He's a heel. And the fans cheered him and cheered this match just because of the quality of it. And once again, when we're seeing him, first time we saw Clutch Adams, at a very, very solid match by both guys.
Right, Clutch definitely has that it factor as well. I felt he looks like a star.
Looks like a star.
He sure does. I mean, looks like it. He has that entire look. So no wonder he was the Monster Factory champion. Look for him in the future. That's about all I can say about that. I mean, just a really solid wrestling match.
And then the other one, Ryan, that you talked about, the Swerve Shane Strickland versus Leo Rush. Not something you're going to see on the WWE, but, I mean, arguably, maybe not even arguably.
What could I say that we didn't say? I mean,
best match of the night.
Right.
I mean, it was.
As much as I talk up Shane Strickland, Leo Rush is right there.
Yeah, no.
It takes two to tango in there, and that match blew my mind.
And then the final Keystone Cup qualifying round matchup saw again the Party Animals, Tony Mask and the Party Animal taking on the Gunners, That 80s Team, and Dixon Line Security. Tony Mask and the Party Animal got the win. Made it to the finals on Saturday. Again, these guys, so much energy, and to go on at the top of the show and stay loose, stay ready and get the win at the end of the night, I thought was great. And I think that, they definitely earned it. They beat 6 other teams to get to Saturday's Keystone Cup.
Yeah, it was. I didn't give them much hope to get out of the first round, let alone make it through the second match. And I mean, shame on me for underestimating the heart of these guys. But the song's been stuck in my head, their theme song, ever since Friday night. I've been playing it over and over and over, and I can't shake it, and it's a damn shame. It's Gangnam Style that a couple of years back was like the big hit. That's what they come out to, and they dance around the ring, and the kids love it, and it's high energy, but now I can't get the damn song out of my head. So I'm stuck with that burden for the next couple days. Matt, what were your overall?
I'm sorry,
go ahead.
The final tag match itself, I thought, was highly entertaining. When we saw some of the teams coming out, I think we all kind of had an assumption on who was going to come out that night. And my assumption was not that the Party Animals were going to win. And so when they did, it was a nice surprise, because they did put on 2 very solid matches that night. And, I mean, like you guys mentioned, the singles matches were just fantastic. And, we were there for the Keystone Cup, but those singles matches on Friday night really stole the show. So hats off to the 6 guys that were involved in the 3 matches that we really touched on. It was just it was a very good night of wrestling. It was the first Friday we were able to make it to, and it was well worth going there.
Yeah, it sure was. This Friday was a little bit special. It was day 1 of the Keystone Cup, but going forward, they do have what's called Friday Night Fights. That's LCW sponsors every Friday night before their regular Saturday show. You get some maybe new talents, new blood into the LCW. Mix it up with some fan favorites. It's a really, really fun night. It's very affordable. So the next time it comes around, we'll definitely be messaging about it. I believe they're bringing up MCW.
Yes, Micro
Championship Wrestling as a special feature for our Friday night fights.
Friday, September 11th.
Which would be micro wrestlers.
Yes.
Little people.
Little people wrestlers. I guess they have a TV show on
think
True
they had a
TV.
show on True TV. Maybe they still do.
I think they still do, or I don't know if it's between production times or what. But if you want to get to know MCW before they come to LCW, make sure you check that out. But again, that is September the 11th, Friday, September the 11th, and also this one is even cooler since it is on the LCW website now. I am not afraid
It's
to.
official.
It is official. Saturday, September the 12th. Tickets can be purchased now online at lcw-pro.com or via phone 717-247-0301. September is going to be called Dragon Month at LCW because Ricky the Dragon Steamboat will be invading the Lancaster Host Expo Center along with the stars of LCW. So, yes, WWE Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes.
How
that
awesome
is so
is that?
Awesome. Cannot wait for that show.
They've been bringing in some big name legends. I mean, the whole time we've been there. Who was there in April? Was there one in April?
EC3.
That's right. That was EC3. Yeah. Obviously, the late Roddy Piper was there in May. Jimmy Hart, Larry Zbyszko was there last month. This month, of course, the Powers of Pain. But next month, again, September the 12th. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. VIP front row tickets, $20. Second row tickets, $15. Kids 12 and under are $5 for the front 2 rows. And the general admission tickets, $12. And for kids 12 and under, general admission is free. So you can't beat the price. You can't beat the value. Also scheduled to appear Facade, the Neon Ninja, Andrew Backlund, Joseph Von Schmidt, Snitsky, Pretty in Pink, That 80s Team, and many more. I'm sure there'll be names added throughout the next couple weeks, but make sure you check that out and don't miss your chance to see WWE Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Awesome
yeah, we don't know
already.
He might, from what we're hearing, it's even possible that Ricky's putting on a match, which would just be awesome to see. He does still train, so if you're in the area, you got to come. Even if he's just hanging out, just come meet Ricky Steamboat is enough. But if he puts on a match too, that's even better.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who is involved with arguably the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, but easily in a top 5 or a top 3 WrestleMania match of all time. His legendary feud with Ric Flair throughout NWA territory and WCW, and his work in WWE as well. Just a spectacular superstar. So get out to see that again Saturday, September the 12th. Go to lcw-pro.com. You can follow them on Twitter at LCWPro or on Facebook at facebook.com/Lancaster Championship Wrestling. Well, let's just talk a couple of the and Matt talk about a couple of the matches from last night's Keystone Cup. I misplaced my notes from the weekend, so going to be kind of flying off of memory here. But was there a tag team match in this Keystone Cup that stood out to you, to either of you guys, as the best?
Yes.
And which one was that for you?
Sudden Impact versus the team of Shane Strickland and John Gresham, I thought was the match of the night. Just a fantastic back and forth between two high-flying teams. I mean, they were interacting with the crowd. They were in and out of the ring. I mean, they were doing moves that we have not seen at LCW before. It really tore the house down. It's a shame it wasn't the main event, but because of the setup of the tournament, it was a semi-final match, and it stole the show for me.
Yeah, that would have been in the semifinals, and it was a really, really good match. Matt, I can't argue with that. It was cool to see the House of Truth come up. They actually wrestled the Bloodbound Warriors, Grey Wolf and Mark, which is the match that Mark, the Red Scorpion Hazel, did end up injuring his leg with that match. I thought the Vixens match was pretty good with Hanaya, the Howling Huntress, and Mandy Leone taking on Jordan Grace and MV. It's just a fun match to watch. It was. Really, really a lot of talent in the ring at that time as well. All of them, I think, have bright futures in the wrestling business. But the Sudden Impact Strickland Gresham match, Matt, I've got to agree, probably stole the night for me. Again, don't want to take anything away from what ended up being like the special main event, which was a fun old style wrestling match.
Certainly.
That saw the Powers of Pain, the Warlord and the Barbarian, take on Snitsky, former WWE star Gene Snitsky, and Joseph von Schmidt. Schmitsky, I guess we could have. I think they called themselves in an interview. So it was just fun to watch that style match, which was a slow match. And then Georgia actually touched on it, that it, slow down, let the match build. They were doing tests of strength. Things like that, things that we don't normally see.
And the crowd at LCW is always very good, but you become accustomed on the indie scene to the lighter, quicker, high flying stuff. And when they had those tests of strength, and they had, where Snitsky would raise his arm and the Warlord would go for it, and Snitsky, taller than the Warlord, would raise his arm higher so he couldn't grab it. And
classic heel stuff.
Yeah, he'd hold up his right hand for the Warlord's left, and as Warlord would put his hand up, and Snitsky would put his left arm up and drop. And a couple of the people in the crowd would say, "Come on, we want wrestling," and say that it is, and that's the style that those guys.
There was a small chant, Jim. I don't know if you heard it, but throughout the night there was "This was wrestling" chant, which was pretty cool to hear.
I did not hear that.
It's from the far side, on the opposite side of where we were. I just picked up on it. It wasn't very long, but it was a "This was wrestling" chant, which was kind of cool to hear that.
Very cool, yeah. No, that was fun, and we posted the picture of the three of us getting to meet the Warlord and the Barbarian. The ironic women's bathroom sign above us. I know my wife pointed that out when I showed her the picture.
How did
my brother
none of us notice that?
I didn't notice it. How did they not put a background in front of them?
It's the two of them. If it was just you, I mean, we got a group.
Yeah.
And the Warlord actually said to you, well, there's a lot of weight in this picture. So kind of funny to hear that. So you had two extra bodies. It took us to then under the women's restroom sign that if you guys were square on, I don't think that would have appeared.
I think it makes the picture funnier.
The picture. I think it is a funny picture. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I really am.
I think it makes it funny, but they seem like really good guys, and good for them that they're still in shape.
Sure
and they're working at I think
52 and
53 and 56 or something like that. And not to put down anybody, but they look in much better condition than the Demolition of these days. But
sure,
it is what it is, and it was entertaining for us. As fans of older style and that era. It's cool to see guys like that.
It was, and again, I want to put over LCW because it's a fantastic product. They have put on in the beginning of the show a fantastic Roddy Piper tribute. I don't want to disinclude that, not include that, because that was really, really good. They had some really good raffles for the first time. I think they're giving away Philadelphia Eagles tickets. They had an autographed Roddy Piper
Ring used
Ring used
Roddy Piper's stool
from a Piper's Pit segment from